Hello, rail fans. Earlier on this afternoon, we had chased CSX M649 from Valdosta to Waycross. When we got to Ruskin, we knew that that would be the last that we would see of that train. We came on into Waycross and we looked on the Folkestone sub and didn't see any action that way. So we came over onto this side where the A and B line goes to Fitzgerald and Cordele, and we happened to see this engine sitting here on Garlington Avenue. And I said, well, wonder what's going on with that. So we actually drove to the left and went around over to Osie Davis Parkway, which is a big thoroughfare. And this train was across Osie Davis, and it was well beyond the crossing. So I said, well, that train can't sit there all day. So we came back to Garlington so we would catch this train as it come across. Now, we saw a yellow light. You can't see it in that little short clip, but it's right at the top of the tree line in the sky, so you can't really see the orange light. So we thought, yes, this train's fixing to get his orders and go. In Waycross, there's quite a bit of chatter that you hear from the yard and from crews working, making up trains and taking trains apart. So we didn't really know that this train was on its way, and I was really confused by the lights because the lights on this side, on the track that this train's on, you couldn't really see them. So I'm not sure what's up with that, but nevertheless, we thought it was pretty cool to see this train come on around. He's actually headed southbound, and the yard is not too far. We've done some other videos closer into the yard by the bypass, and so this train's headed that way. Let's go into the yard.
So we put it back off towards the left on that ladder.
After this train passed, we were there at the truck in our little location. It's a little pull-off, so it's a real good spot. A lot of times train crew, people will actually let train crews off here and walk up to the crossing to board the train. But the original train that we saw coming up here is still sitting there. And after the train passed, we had a white work truck come up, and they pulled up beside my window and was a little curious what we was doing. And so I told them we like to film trains, and this is just part of our YouTube experience, and he thought it was pretty cool. And so he took a picture of my door magnet, and I said, well, what's going on with the train that's sitting there? It's been sitting there quite a while. And he said it had some kind of a problem on it. And I said, well, we were coming in with M649 and they had a hot bearing. And he said, well, this one actually had a hot wheel. And I said, well, what was the difference on that? And he said, well, the brakes evidently were not released and are not releasing, and they made the wheel hot. So the defect detector called it out, and so they stopped. Now, you got to remember, this train is actually from Garlington Avenue that we're on all the way back around across Osie Davis and beyond.
Lined up, but we're going to be checking them there, Gerald, to see if we got enough room to go back high.
We had been at this location from about 6:30, give or take. When the work crew guys came up and we had our little conversation about that, he said, well, they were going to have to fix the train, but during this time, I didn't video it, but there was a crew change that had to take place. And so we saw the old crew get off the train and leave. And there was still somebody down there. I saw someone in a yellow reflector vest, and so the train, they left it, the crew left, and a good while went by before this work truck came up. So when we was talking, the work truck said, well, we can't do anything to the train until the new crew comes on board. And so this was still some more time passed by, and they went across the street and was on the other side. And we was thinking, man, this is drama right here. So we was going to wait it out and just see what exactly was going to take place. If you look straight across the track when this car gets by, you'll see the white work truck that is waiting for the crew change and to do their work to fix this train so it can go ahead on about its business. So we really thought it's cool. We're getting some different stuff, and now we see the yellow light again and think, well, anytime now, but the crew hadn't showed up yet. We see the light from afar and hear the horn as it was coming up to this location. So we got ready to do a little night shooting. Now the video don't do as good at nighttime, but still it's pretty cool. And so we're waiting on the repair. Right off the bat, I thought, man, this must be one long train with 4 engines in the lead. And at this moment, the street lights were not on yet, so everything is dark. And we wasn't exactly how long this train was, but we figured with 4 engines, it's got to be a pretty good train. Train cars in the dark. At the same time, the street lights had not come on again yet, and we were wondering. We did notice, however, that this train was not going the same velocity as it first came by, and I thought, this is strange. This train is long and it's slowing down. What might be the deal with that? We wasn't sure.
On the 5663.
I figured this car with mail on it would be a good one to stop at, seeing how they parked this train sit here for about 15 minutes, and we finally got this little sequence on there when the slack is taken up, and they were again underway. The mechanical engineering that goes into these trains has always been fascinating. A lot of physics involved here, and to get a train that has that much tonnage to be able to stop and to start is still amazing to me. It's more amazing than how they can stay on that rail with steel on steel. Again, lots of physics and mechanical engineering makes it all possible.
And look to see where it's going. So what you got other than
It's always neat to hear the DPs coming. You can hear the rumble and the roar before they get there, but at nighttime you can only hear them. You can't see them. I knew that something was coming, but I couldn't see them in the dark. We never did see the original train that we saw in the very beginning when we got here. We never saw it go by, but it was about 8 o'clock. We had to get back. We live west of Valdosta, so we headed back home. But before we did so, we went across the street. At this point, the repair crew was able to do their repair since the new crew got there, and they fixed the brake. It turned out it was a clip for the brake shoes that was on wrong, and it was causing the brake shoes to not release fully, and so it was making a hot wheel. So that was pretty neat. When we got through, I stopped over there across the street and talked to him before we left, and told him we appreciate him, and he said we had tuned into your channel and we had been watching some of your videos while we were sitting here waiting after we got our work done, because they had to wait and look at the brake when it came by and make sure that it was disengaged from the wheel. Anyway, we thank you for watching to the end, and as always, we appreciate you. Like, subscribe, and share the videos. And until then, we'll see you next time.
What do you want us to come out of the service center there, over? Like where?